Good evening. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Part three of my story in my life. Like I said, it's going to be sessions, it's going to be the truth and nothing but the truth. I put myself underneath oath. So I'm just this. And it is very hard for me to do this, but I feel the need to do it. Okay. Just going to wait a few minutes. And while I'm waiting, I'm listening to my scriptures. You can't hear it, but I can. I'm not going to be on here long. I've been telling my story. I have some videos that I had already did. I think, two. This is the third. I've been trying to put part one, part two. You can go back, look at it. Please hit the notification, subscribe to my channel. And I appreciate any and everyone that has supported me and everything. And so I'm going to just start off saying this. Why does one decide to do something like this? This is me asking the question, and I'm going to answer my truth. For me, I'm a content creator, and also my channel is Grandmother of Five. It was Mona's unique experience life, but life happened. So I'm a grandmother of five, taking care of grandchildren. So that's why I changed my name. Okay? And with that happening, that means my life changed. And when my life changed, I don't know what to call it. I don't want to call it triggers because raising my grandchildren is not a bad thing. Taking care of them is not a bad thing. But my life has changed. For some reason, I think what happened is all I've done is taken care of and raised children for the most part that I can remember as far back as 10. And so I'm not going to constantly um, talk about what I already said in my first two videos, just somewhat a little light on the subject. Let me say it like that. This is an emotional topic. If I seem like I'm kind of like all over the place, sorry. But it's just something that I wanted to talk about. It's something that I needed to talk about. Welcome to my life. If it's something that I needed to get off my mind and chest. And despite how what I say, it still bothers me. Okay, so I had mentioned that I was abused, and I had mentioned that I was attacked. I was attacked so many times. I can recall one time when I was attacked, and these are people, quote, 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 supposedly someone that you know, I know, okay? And so, as I mentioned in the one yesterday, I started running away from home. Didn't want to be there. Just straight out saying it. And it wasn't that I was doing drugs. It wasn't that I was fast tail, as one would say, or rebelling. My whole problem was, why did you run away? You would have too. When you don't have any answers to a question far as something that you had happen to you in your life, and sometimes you never get the answer to the question. At a young age, what is one going through? I didn't give a damn. You get a whooping and beat for doing something, you get a whooping and beat for not doing something. So I said, you know what? In my mind, because I was never disrespectful. And in the core of my soul, why did this happen to me? Why? Why? So I've been taken advantage of. I've been molested. And the one time I was almost raped, and I would really say it was rape, because if you don't let no one um, have sex with you, with adults, and you say no, or even if you don't say no, they're not supposed to do it anyhow. It's a forceful thing. I don't give a damn. I was 17 years old. 17. This happened in 1983. Because in 84, I turned 18, January 30th. Okay. Like I said, I was shy, quiet, timid, easy to cry, uh, didn't have a voice whatsoever. And I tell people this, and what how I am now, they'll probably say, hmm, I can't tell. Oh, I talk to my family, my kids, and I can go on and on and on. But I feel like I'm still living, and this is my truth, like I'm at home as a little kid. When you done been, it's trauma, okay? Am I holding grudges? No. Am I still hurt behind it? Yes. Does it still bother me? Yes. Does it still affect me? Yes. And I question myself sometimes to wonder if I've done this to my children. Be truthful in whatever's happened to you. No, it's not saying everything is hereditary, but it's almost like a person feeling energy. Okay. If I walk into your house and I got a frown on my face, or if I walk into your house with a bad odor, so to speak, I'm just saying, you're going to go like, wait a minute. Something just set right with me. So that doesn't mean just because I gave birth to my children, I did this. Then again, I probably did. I have some children that are or has been depressed. I know life happens. And I'm not saying it's because of me, but it can be because there's some things that happen. Break the cycle, break the generational curses. Stop it. You have kids that did not ask to be brought in this world, okay? When you admit that you've done something wrong, I didn't physically abuse my children. Mm-mm, mm-mm. No, ever. But I did something that my mom did, but with a mutual understanding between me and my kid's father. I didn't have nowhere to stay. What was I supposed to do? Let my kids sit outside or sleep outside and they had a father? Mm-mm. I had some problems going on in my life. I got sick. I had a son that had ADHD and a daughter that had seizures and a daughter that had ADD. Okay. When I got sick in 94, okay, I was in ICU. I'm being dramatic right now. I don't know what the hell happened to me to make me be that sick. I had gallstones. I had the surgery, emergency, but I still had my gallbladder. And while I was in the hospital, I guess by them doing a lot of tests and running lab work and so on and so forth, a nurse came in and asked me these questions, or this question, I should say. Do you have thyroids? And I'm like, hell, I didn't know what it was. I think I was 27, 28 years old. Okay. I had 4 kids at that time. My son was 8. He wasn't 9 yet. My youngest was almost 2. And I had a 5 and 4 year old. Okay. So all my kids were under 9, 10 years old. As I said, I got sick. And sometimes when I pause, it's because I'm trying to get my bearings together. It ain't damn sure ain't because I'm trying to think of a lie because I'm a very emotional person and I will cry. And I have on here. My son was 8 years old. Sometimes I feel like the things that he's going through, it's almost like me and I feel like me and his dad did it, did it to him. Nothing that we did bad. Mm-mm. But I got sick. My husband wasn't there, and my son had to help me out and his sisters. So that's what I say it's kind of like a make up your mind type of thing. Which is it, right? It wasn't bad, but sometimes you can put that responsibility. I didn't have no choice. Okay, I'm just gonna wrap it up. I didn't have no choice. I was sick and I couldn't take care of my baby. My youngest daughter and my son had to help me. And it's funny, my son used to thought everything that can help you was juice. Okay, mama, you want some juice? He was a baby himself. And he took care of me. He said, Mom, I remember us being by ourselves a lot. His dad was in the army, okay? His dad was in the army. So that's why I'm saying this is not bad because your dad's in the army, but he was there as a young child helping his mom, okay? Sometimes you can put the responsibility on your children. And again, I didn't have no choice. I was sick. To it can affect them as they get older. This happened to me, okay? This is why I'm saying this. I didn't graduate high school because I had to stay home to babysit. I had to babysit my sister and my brother, which was younger. I had 3 sisters and a brother. I'm the second. Then I had 2 sisters under me and my brother under me. So I have an older sister. And just because I guess I was the timid or the emotional one, that's why I say bully. And I didn't have a voice and I didn't say, do I have to? I can't go to school, that type of thing. So being that I had stayed home so much from school, helping my mom, basically taking care of my sisters and brothers because she was gone. She wasn't there. I was getting up in the morning times and I'd be the first one woke in the morning for school to make my dad's breakfast and lunch for work. Sometimes that could be a little good thing, but this is the responsibility I had. My mom would go back to bed. My dad didn't know because he was asleep. He's thinking, okay, my wife got the bed, she did it. No, I did it. Lisa. That's what my family calls me. Lisa did it. So when it's time to go to school, I rode to work. Well, I ain't gonna say work. I went to school with my dad. My dad was going to work, so he took me to school. And I would ride, he would take me. And then he'd get bus passes, or sometimes he'd give me change to get on the bus to go back home. And then sometimes my mom would come pick me up from school because the school I went to was a little ways from our house. Right to this day, I don't understand why I didn't go to the other school. I'm a Kansas native, by the way. And we hear that there was a high school closer by. Excuse me. Maybe it had something to do with maybe the schools. So that's all I could think of. But there was a school close by, and my mom went to it. But I went to another school, and I would have to catch the bus. But I've even walked home, and it's still some distance. I walk halfway, catch it, make it cheaper. Because when I ran away from home, I wanted to have some money so I can either catch the bus to where I needed to go or get me something to eat. Because I slept outside in the cold in the back of a building because someone was trying to force themselves up on me. And even though that person didn't, it's the thought of you trying to, okay? And you shouldn't have to struggle and fight or yell and scream, get off of me, get off of me, no, and all this stuff. You shouldn't have to do that. Should nobody push themselves up on you? Should no one try to take nothing from you? You know what I'm saying? I don't give a damn. It could be a boy, man. Because I'm not chauvinistic. All this sick, perverted stuff that's going on in this world, things happen to little boys and men too. My cousin knew him. My whole family knew him. That doesn't matter to anybody anymore. Who knows who? Because you could think they one way and they end up being another way. My thing is this: don't nobody know what nobody's mind is like. Just like mine, don't nobody know what my mind is like. Sometimes I wonder what's wrong with me because the reason why I say that, I can ask a question and answer it because I feel like my life was I wasn't treated right. I wasn't treated fair. That's why I ran away from home. I didn't care no more. When I got to be in high school and I couldn't go to school because I had to stay home and watch children, babysitting kids that my mom watched, and my sisters and brothers. Like I said, I've been babysitting ever since I was about 10, probably 9, hell, but I can remember for a fact 10 years old. I've always been responsible. And I'm bringing all this up is because I see it all the time how people will cover up their hurt and only put it on one person. And it's not that one person that hurts you, it's multiple people. I've been hurt by parent, sibling, guys, and I probably done hurt myself by allowing this. I never physically cut or hurted myself, but I guess you can say I hurted myself because I was eating. I was an emotional eater. I got big, obese, fat, didn't care, didn't love myself, had self esteem problems. And I'm going to tell you the reason why I'm saying all this is because once I started thinking back and trying to get on a weight loss journey, I had to be truthful with myself. And even though it hurts, I still had to be truthful. I didn't, my mom used to always say to me, I was skinny when I was in school. I wasn't a fat child at all in grade school, middle school, high school. No. Um, I never got into a fight, maybe once in school. And the only reason why that happened, the girl was supposed to be my so-called friend, her and her sister, and they thought I told their mom that they was going off with some boys or whatever. Come to find out, with me, it was the boy's sister, and I knew it. So she jumped me. We was fighting. We was cool, but I guess I was getting best with her sister. So her sister jumped. My sister and my cousin came up in the school year fight of the year. We took it inside the school and everything. That's the only time a fight happened in my life like that. I didn't do anything to no one. And my thing is this: if you didn't want any damn kids or child, why would you abuse them? I would cut my kids off, leave them with their dad before I had beat them. I ain't never beat my kids. I told my daughter, was it today or yesterday? I think it was yesterday. I said, you know what? My son is the oldest. He's 37. I didn't even like for his dad to discipline him because it was a trigger for me. It really was. He was older, my kid's father. He wasn't mean, but it was just, he had this voice like, get over here. He was in the army and he's from that era. He was from the 50s. I'm from the 60s. He had that structure and old fashioned ways about him. And sometimes they said maybe he needs butt tore up or something. Here I am like, whooping someone does not um, help the situation. If that's the case, a lot of people that got their ass beat, why are they still doing whatever they're doing? If a whooping or beating, I ain't gonna say no spanking, beat, helped or fix somebody, why is there a lot of messed up people in this world? If a whooping, that was what I said. If I look up like this or look outside or look over here, I have a picture. I showed it on the other video. It's because I'm looking, because that's something I'm used to doing. Like me and my older sister, we look at the sky because when we was 8 and 9 years old, we couldn't go outside and play with kids. So we was in a townhome, and me and my sister would be up in the room looking at other kids playing, and we had to go to bed 6, 5 o'clock in the evening and stuff. True story. My older sister told my mom, okay, let me get it right with the years. I want to say, did I have that baby? Mm-mm. 2004, 5, anywhere from 2004 to 6. She told my mom, and my mom asked me. And I was like, at first, I'm gonna be honest, I said, grown woman, okay? In my 30s. Did this happen? But in my mind, I'm like, why is this happening? Instead of saying yes or yeah, yes, ma'am, I'm saying in my mind, what the heck is going on? Because I didn't know that my old sister had said this. It was how I was asked, okay? So I said yes. Once, I said yes. Was beat by her brother. Had things happen. All my sisters. And we couldn't speak up about it. Even when I was raped. And I call it rape because you tore my clothes. You bust my lip. because I was, like trying to fight fight him off. And you said, bitch, if you don't shut up, I'm gonna bust you in your mouth. Okay? And I kept doing it, and I got busted in my mouth. I remember everything I had on. There was a store called Einstein. Very tall person I was, even teenager. I used to play basketball in grade school, middle school, and high school. Could have been a model. Could have went in the army. But all of my dreams got crushed because no one wanted to support a positive thing that I wanted to do. But you didn't stop me being with an older man. I'm just being truthful here, okay? I couldn't join the military because they had, military people or career people to come to schools, and I took an interest on how they was talking about the military and a career and them paying for this, that, and the third or whatever. I was in 11th grade. One more year, I would have graduated high school, and I didn't make it, okay? But instead, not going to college, but I met a man that was older. And this is not a bad thing, but the comparison, if you follow me, you didn't tell me that not to be with this older man, even though I was growner. I was older, I should say. I said grown, older. But I'm telling you about my future plans or thinking about it and interest in it and stuff like that. No. What if you want to get married and have children? Or I had to babysit my siblings, raise my siblings. I'm not going to say take care of, because taking care of is a temporary thing. Raising is permanent. Lived with, ate, drank, the whole night, slept, okay? And the last time I can remember getting a whooping or a beating, I think I was 17. Again, I didn't have a voice. I was scared. And this wasn't just something that happened to make me this way. It's almost like I was limp to this. Like, so even when the guy bust my lip and I stopped fighting him, I went limp. Limp. Literally like, not knowing that me not fighting, it gave me strength to fight him off of me. Okay? I didn't know if I was going to die. I didn't know if I was going to die. I got busted in my mouth, clothes ripped off me, and I was screaming. And you say, if I don't stop screaming, you're going to bust me in my mouth. So you did that because I kept screaming. But the next step, what else was you going to do? Was you going to try to suffocate me, strangle me? Because at the end of the day, you was in the army. And you could have gotten a court martial. You could have went to prison because I was a minor. You was an adult. I was a minor. Okay? So with the abuse as a child, teenager, almost grown woman, I met my kid's father. And he took me away from it. I told my daughter this today. He did. I'm not going to shut up. All I wanted all my life was love. I wasn't seeking it. That's why these things were happening to me. No. Mm-mm. But when I met my kid's father, he loved me. Mhm. He was patient, kind. He helped me. He didn't mold me. He didn't control me. He didn't rush me. Leave to be if he when he was my husband and if I didn't want to have sex, he didn't pressure me or any of that. I'm just saying. 4 kids by him. He asked me to marry him. I didn't want to. But we were still together. I wanted to, he asked, it wasn't the point of him asking me, because that's the way it's supposed to go. But I didn't feel at that time like to say yes right away or sure or whatever, because we had been together almost 2 years at this point. He was in the army. He took me away. Why did he take me away? He saw things, okay? He saw things. It didn't dawn on me at first, but later on, it's almost like he rescued, almost he did rescue me. And so when he rescued me, I was still lost as hell. That's why I said he was so patient, kind, gentle. He was my friend. We was Bonnie and Clyde. We was whatever I wanted to say to him at that point. I remember I used to cry in my sleep and he'll wake me up or he'll let me know it's going to be okay because I used to cry in my sleep. I even did it when I was a kid, but I didn't realize it. And I ended up realizing it because of things that I was going through in my life and what it was happening to me. And I literally felt like I was a mute child. Like I didn't have no emotions. I had them. I'm talking about like speaking up and talking about what's going on or anything like that. I was scared. I was scared. I was scared. The only thing I knew to do was just cry. Cry. That's the only thing I knew to do. That's the only thing I knew to do. When a person don't understand, when someone's been, I guess you could call mentally, physically, and emotionally abused, they don't understand. And it's a hard um, pill to swallow. It is. It's a hard pill to swallow. And later on, after that part, 2 other guys tried to. And here we go. Who do you really know? You think you know people, and your family can know them. I knew a guy, and he wouldn't give me a ride home. And him and his friends, or friends, excuse me, it was just two of them. Friend wanted me to do something with him, and I said no. And you're gonna try to lock me up in the room. Because I didn't want to have sex or mess around, or I was a teenager, 17, 17. At that age, girls have boyfriends, girls have crushes, but I have always wanted, when I was with a guy or had a guy friend, one, you ain't getting out of here until you do what you do to us or with us. So I think I was a thinker before I act. You know how sometimes people get hype and get loud and make a scene type of thing? I just sat there. I was like, okay, I'm not going to do this. And you're not going to take me home. They weren't going to take me home. Some way, they was in army too. Some kind of way, I guess they must have thought in their mind to let me out of that room. So serious. And I had to walk. And when I say walk, it was a distance. Okay. About 15 miles, 10, 15 miles from my home. And luckily, on the way going, there was restaurants, there was stores, there was the mall, a little place that you could sit down and probably drink some water or whatever, whatever. But I had to walk to get away from people that want to attack me, abuse me, molest me. And you say no. Mm-mm. And every man that I done had as an adult, I've been married twice. My second husband, I don't care. People say, he didn't put his hands on you, but he was mental as hell. Do you hear me? And being that he was mental and I was still messed up from what I had been through, because triggers came back because of where I was living and the folks I was living around. And you hear what I'm saying? I was married twice. Okay. I put up with it. And the reason why I put up with it, this is so stupid, but this is why I'm trying to tell people, I'm being honest. Stupid to put up with someone mistreating you because of acceptance, or you want to feel love, or you want somebody to just be with someone financially because that's all you knew. That's all you saw. That's all you seen, the coming in, the going in, all this stuff. I never saw my dad physically abuse my mom. I can't lie about that. But there were some things that happened, and the things that I saw in my life as an adult, I can speak up on it. You put my dad out because of things that you was doing. Did I say my dad was perfect? I say that because I don't know if my dad did anything. It wasn't saw, heard from me. This is my truth. But my mom, I did. Okay? I'm not going to sit up here and lie on something that I don't know. But I do know this. I know what my mom did because me and my older sister was with her sometimes. True. I ain't never heard my daddy curse. My dad smoked a pipe, and if he did drink, we never saw it. But me and my sister was snooping. Okay, we never saw my dad with a can of beer, liquor, nothing. Okay, he had it. I guess he called it a hidden away because me and my sister was just rambling, and he didn't have it in the house. He had it on the outside. He did. It was not in the house, and we saw it. So repeat physically from my dad, my mom, I cannot lie about nothing. I've had things happen to me, horrible things. And in a million years, who the hell does that? So when people say they with someone like their mom was, or dad, or how they got treated as a child, I'm not saying this because I want to live in it, because I'm not in no relationship. But I am scarred, hurt. My past has come up to haunt me. Like literally. And I think it's like I don't have a life, and the life I'm living is almost like I'm living when I was a kid. I'm so serious. I'm so tired of cleaning. I'm so tired of it's almost like I'm not tired of kids because I got grandbabies and I love them all to pieces. Everybody's story is different. This is mine. I don't have a life. I'm living. Yes. I'm breathing. Yes. I'm grateful, thankful, and blessed to see a new day. Yes. But just when you wake up, your life doesn't supposed to just be get up, clean the house and cook and do chores like you're a little kid at home. I literally feel like I'm a kid. I don't like feeling like this. So what I've done, I share this with my daughter, I done pulled back a little bit on that because that's all I've done. I've, Me and my kid's father was our home was always clean. We didn't have no nasty trifle. He didn't do it all. I did a lot because I was a housewife. I worked because I didn't want to just sit at home. I wanted to work and have a career. And I took my kids to work with me. Okay, took them to work with me for. And it was a reason why I was able to take them is because the girl and her husband just opened up a office. This is when I was living in Bradenton, Florida, and it was a joint off like a Jack and Jill bathroom, so you can leave out that this off and oh, I can't even talk. Y'all forgive me. I'm all over the place. You can leave out of this office to go into the office by using the same door. And she had one set up because I worked in the phone office room, um, telemarketing, and her husband and other guys was reps because I used to do phone work. It was a company called TriStar, Tampa, Florida, and they sold vacuum cleaners. And so she had TVs in there, and she had one child. She was Hawaiian or Indian, and he was Italian. Okay, she had long hair. I mean, her hair was down past her behind, and she had a little girl. Her little girl had long hair. Her husband even had long hair, and she knew that I was a good worker, and I had called her in. I mean, called in and told her that I didn't have no one to watch my kids, and she told me to bring my kids to work. Four of them. Even though my kid's father didn't say, don't go to work, I had to say to him, he was the main breadwinner. But honey, if you both working, both of you breadwinners, okay? I got bread too. But I'm just saying, he didn't say anything. My job meant a lot to me because a mother of four, if I'm trying to work to provide for me, my husband, and my kids, because at the time of the situation he was going through, I told him, my kids is not going to be cut short for nothing because somebody trying to squeeze blood out of a turnip, his ex, always wanted money. And so that's when me and my kids' father had started having problems. So let me say that, not with us per se, but I would say it's us because if you love someone, you don't let nobody come between your relationship, the stress of it or not. You're supposed to sit down and communicate about it. Well, I guess what happened with this was I got sick. Maybe because of the pressure and the stress, I got sick. I was in ICU, intensive care, and I was in the hospital about 14 days, ICU. At the time, I didn't know what the hell was wrong with me. I know my heart raced. They thought I was having a heart attack. Thought I had a heart attack. Come to find out, no. That's when I found out I have Graves' disease. Okay, my thyroid was just, I guess, doing my body all kinds of ways, and I was in ICU. I was shaking. My eyes was like popping out my head. I had palpitations in my heart. I didn't have the what you call it, the goiter or whatever you call it. I had two radiation iodine treatments, one in Bradenton, Florida, and then the other one I had when I moved where my mom was in Missouri because she found me a good doctor. Okay. And I didn't care. We didn't live there, but we was going to, and being that she found me a good one, I would drive 2 hours every month. Or was it every month? Maybe every month, but I know eventually they say every 3 months to come back. But until they got me regulated and got me on pills and things, I had to have another radiation iodine. I guess that was to shrink it. I guess I'm thinking my hair fell out. He took a piece of paper and put it on my hand, and my hand was shaking the paper and everything. And right to this day, I get paranoid if I don't have them. I'm not gonna lie, I get really paranoid. And I was telling my daughter, this could be why I'm feeling emotional and going all over the place because I didn't have my pill for about 5 days. Not my fault. I paid for it. They kept giving me the runarounds and lying and saying all the ultimate lie was the lady said, well, we can't have it delivered because I don't have a vehicle, so I have my medicine delivered. I do what I got to do for me. Okay. DoorDash, take take notes, everyone. If you don't have no car and you need your medicine, DoorDash will deliver your medicine to your home. And what's that? FedEx will too. You go online or you could call the pharmacist and they will you pay for it and they can have it delivered to your house. Okay. So the lady said, your insurance, we can't do it with your insurance no more. I'm like, okay. Granted, I know a lot of stuff's changed. Man, why you didn't tell me this sooner? I had told you how many pills I had. I was almost out. I already done went online to put in a prescription like a week in advance or 2 weeks in advance to do the auto refill. Come to find out, she told me that something just didn't sit right in my spirit. That's why I said you feel the I'm an empath, okay? You feel energy. Something just didn't sit right with me. So I said, I'm gonna call back because I had got a text message to my phone saying that your medicine is ready to be picked up. I said to myself, didn't I pay for it to be delivered? Which I know I did. Receipts don't lie. The money got paid, taken out of my account and everything because I saw it. The man said these words, ma'am, it's pending. It hasn't been filled. So I said on the website, why did Walgreens, okay, why did it say it was filled, waiting to be delivered? Okay. The next thing was delivered. So he said, I said, okay, can I pay for it? He said, sure. And I said, do y'all still have the delivery for the 1 day? He said, yes, ma'am. I said, y'all can deliver it. That man said, yes, through DoorDash. Don't you know that medicine was here? My medicine was here within not even an hour. He said, ma'am, give me an hour. That medicine seemed like hell. Damn. He got off the phone with me. He put it through. And when I say he put it through, I got a knock at the door and I was like, whoa. So I'm saying that because my thyroid is off. I know it is. I don't like this feeling. And so I'm emotional. I just don't understand. I feel like I get taken advantage of. I feel like I get used. Feel like I feel like I do things because it's almost like you buy love. So maybe me not going nowhere, that's my way of protecting myself. That's not cool. That's not cool. It ain't. I want a social life. I want a life. I know I can be a good friend. I don't have no friends. And right now, I don't think I want none. The only ones I deal with, to be honest with you, is my kids, grandbabies, my sisters, and my dad. Anybody else outside of that, mm-mm, mm-mm. And I'm saying this for a reason. I let people in, and every time it's a pattern. I'm so serious. It's a pattern. Like, okay, you can start off. I love to laugh. I love to be around people that I'm setting my ways in old fashioned whatever. I keep saying that, but this ain't got nothing to do with an old fashioned, just a family oriented person. I love my family. If I was at home and I had about 15 people or whatever over for a barbecue, we got music going. I used to be the DJ, playing the music, and I know how to fix certain types of food and almost kind of like a perfectionist in a sense, but I remember how my mom used to do things. And don't get me wrong, here's a plot twist. Despite how I got treated horribly, I loved it, my mom. My mom did these things to me. I'm not gonna sit up here and act like, no, I'm not talking about my mom. Yes, I am. She did these things to me, but I loved my mom. I took care of my mom. She apologized to me in 1996 in my front room on my sofa. And in your mind, you still sitting up here not asking why. Sometimes the apology, yes, is good, but why? You told me in 1999 when I came to stay with you when I moved back from Cincinnati, Ohio, I never gave you any problems, never disrespected you, disobedient, none of that. That's why I don't want nobody to do nothing to their kids in front of me. And that's sad to say. I'm talking about it in a whooping way, disciplining. I can't tell you not to discipline your child in front of me. That's just above something I shouldn't do or wouldn't do. But I don't want to see nobody whooping their child in front of me. I would rather leave, go out the door. I don't even want to be in the next room. That's how bad it is for me. God didn't ask you to be brought in this world to be mistreated. Parent relationship. If a man's beating a woman or a woman's beating a man or a woman they're mistreating somebody. But I think sometimes the answer is why? Like, why? Why? My kid's father apologized to me. He didn't. He did. He apologized because of what happened to me and him in Florida. That's not a why. Because I know what happened, and he do too. But he still apologized because I felt like he gave up on me. And I say that because of what I was going through mentally after being sick, but he was going through something too. So I'm not going to be selfish and act like it was just me. I loved him. So I'm going to conclude it on this. I'm going to conclude it on this. The moral to the story. This ain't it. It's not over with. I cannot be on here no 3 and 4 hours. I don't know what the max is. I think it's three. And I'm not going to go on to be on here longer than that because I didn't want to be on this long. I'm trying to make short lives, but hit the notification, like, subscribe. And if anyone is out there going through any kind of abuse, I don't care what kind of way it is, verbal abuse, that can be horrible. You're ugly, you're black, you're this, you ain't gonna be nothing. Just down, talking to somebody. That's working on their self-esteem. That's mental. Physical abuse, the scars, and sexual abuse, that's mental and physical and all this different stuff. Everything has happened to me. Everything. Been tortured. Everything's happened to me. And it's a phase I'm going through or something. I can't keep it in no more. I can't fake. I can't run away from something or reality that's a reality or something that has happened to me. I can't. I can't no more. I miss my kids. All of them. My son. I'm just going to end it on this note. So, more to come. Cries and all. You got to start so you can heal completely. You got to start so you can feel better. And I say this, despite if I ever feel better, at least I know I have a voice. That's to sum this up. I have a voice. Speak up. Speak up.